This is Curell Case Files, where history's whispers are amplified and every legend begins with a trace of truth. Some say evil announces itself with thunder, but in Saginaw Bay, it whistles. Michigan's Saginaw Bay is cold, windy, and deceptively calm, its waters stretching out beneath slate-gray skies, dotted with half-sunken docks and the skeletons of ships long forgotten. But there is something else here, something older than the cities, older than the lumber mills, older than memory. Locals call it the Whistler. The first written account dates back to 1883, when a trapper named Elijah Morris reported hearing a high-pitched whistle in 3 notes, repeating in perfect rhythm, echoing across the bay. He was found days later, frozen to death in his own cabin. The only sign of struggle was a shattered window from the inside. The coroner's report noted something strange. His face was frozen in a scream. Over the decades, more reports emerged. Sailors, fishermen, families living near the shoreline, all telling the same story. The whistle starts faintly, 3 rising notes, then silence. Then footsteps on gravel. No matter where you are, even in the middle of the water, especially then. In 1949, a family staying in a small rental cabin on the water claimed to hear the whistle every night at exactly 2:17 a.m. They described it as soft but deliberate, like someone trying to call a dog from far away. On the 5th night, their daughter went missing, 12 years old. Her shoes were found perfectly placed at the edge of the dock. No drag marks, no blood, no sign of a struggle. Only one thing was left behind. A small, smooth stone with a single hole drilled through the center, the kind used by indigenous tribes as spirit markers. The police found no evidence of foul play, just wind and silence, and somewhere in the dark, a whistle. In the 1970s, a series of strange reports emerged again, mostly from young people partying near the shore. Several claimed to see a figure walking across the ice during the winter, not trudging, not slipping, walking like it was summer. No coat, no face, just a tall figure, slightly hunched, with its hands cupped near its mouth, as if blowing a whistle. One boy went missing in 1977. His friends swore they saw him step into the woods after hearing the 3-note whistle. They never saw him again. Rescue dogs refused to go past the tree line. And for the next week, birds in the area reportedly fell silent. Then came the dreams. Locals claimed to dream of drowning, of a whistling sound pulling them under, of eyes in the water, always watching, always waiting. The indigenous Ojibwe people have long told stories of a spirit called Bagwajinini, the whistling man, a forest dweller that punishes those who disrespect the land. It doesn't speak, it only whistles. The closer it gets, the louder it gets, until it's behind you. But what makes this legend impossible to ignore is how consistent it remains across generations. In 2003, 2 police officers from Bay City were dispatched after multiple 911 calls from residents near Linwood Beach. Each reported hearing whistling from the woods behind their homes. The officers heard it too. One of them, Officer Rickens, later gave a sworn statement describing what he saw. A tall figure with long arms and no face. I know that sounds insane, but it was standing in the cattails. It moved like it was floating. It whistled 3 notes, and I swear, when I turned around, I saw the same figure behind us, just standing in the middle of the road. The dashcam footage cut out for exactly 31 seconds. The department never released it publicly. Every few years, someone else hears it. A camper, a hiker, a couple fishing at dawn, always near the water, always the same 3 notes, and always followed by a disappearance, a tragedy, or something quietly disturbing. You can't record the whistle. It never plays back. That's part of the legend, too. Those who try say the file always corrupts, or worse, plays back something else entirely. In 2017, a podcaster investigating local legends visited Saginaw Bay with a team of 2. They live-streamed their exploration of the old boat launch site near the former lumberyard ruins. At 2:16 a.m., the stream glitched, audio warped, and viewers reported hearing faint whistling before the video cut out. The podcaster returned 2 days later, alone, disoriented, unable to explain where she had been. Her team was never found. She has since deleted all footage and refuses interviews. In 2021, a group of amateur paranormal investigators set out to debunk the legend once and for all. They brought thermal cameras, recorders, satellite tracking. At exactly 3:03 a.m., Their GPS log showed every device turning 180 degrees, pointing toward the bay. Their van was found abandoned the next morning, its windows fogged from the inside. The footage? Static. But at the very end of one corrupted file, you can hear it. 3 notes: high, higher, highest. Then, a single word, distorted through static: listen. Today, the towns surrounding the bay don't speak its name. Local radio stations avoid stories about it. Search and rescue crews refuse calls near the old boat ramp after dark. The Whistler isn't just a story here. It's a presence. And it doesn't want to be seen. It wants to be heard. This is Curell Case Files, where darkness has a sound, and those who listen rarely return.